And we are live. Good morning to you. I'm so glad you joined me today. We've got a great show ahead. Johannes Johnson is here today from the Metal Bible. Excited to talk to him about some of the great things that are happening with the Metal Bible. We're also going to talk about his brand new book called Metal for Jesus and how the book came about and what it's about. Excited to get to that. My good friend Phil will be joining us in just a minute. Phil from Australia, and he is somewhere sitting in a car in Australia. We'll get to him in just a minute too. Also, we've got an update today from the worship project at the mountain from Kenya, and we'll have that update today and some really, really special news about that project that you're going to be excited to hear. So lots of things on the docker for today. And folks, once again, thank you for joining me. I want to remind you that my new book is out, and it's the devotional guide for Seriously, the devotional. And there it is. I went from one to the other, and I think I'm going to discontinue the old one. The new one has everything plus more in it, and letters to myself at 21. You can get this wherever books are sold, but also you can get it through the Sanctuary website. And if you buy it there, just leave your name, and I'm really happy to personalize one for you. That would be awesome. Thank you, all of you who have been purchasing the book, and I'm so happy to share it with you. And I'll talk about some of the new projects that are in the works right now. But before we get to any of that, I want to introduce my co-host for today. Phil is here, again, sitting somewhere in an automobile in Australia. Phil, are you here? There he is.
Hey, Bob, how are you going?
All right. So, Phil, you know where you're at, but to us, it looks like you're just aimlessly traveling in the night in Australia. And it's late there. It's like after midnight for you, isn't it?
Well, Bob, before I start, do I need to put on my radio voice? Because the other day, someone said, when you go on podcast, you should put on your radio voice. I'm like,
Well,
sure.
I like that. Yes.
Oh, so good. All right, Bob. No, so what? Well, here's the thing. The reason why I'm in the car, I got a 2-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son who's turning 5. We got a 3-bedroom home. If I'm inside talking, hey guys, how's it going? They're all gonna wake up, and then the wife's gonna get angry at me. So
Yes.
either way, I'm happy to sit in the car because I'm happy doing a podcast, knowing that I'm not waking anybody up.
Absolutely. And you look just fine to us. I totally understand. So, Phil, tell us, you used to do a podcast with Hayden called The Comic Book Guys. And of course, one of your passions is comic books, graphic novels, those kinds of things. But there's more to you than the comic book side. Just tell us a little bit about yourself so people can get acquainted.
So about myself, yes, I love superheroes. I love comic books. But most importantly, I have a passion in helping people. So in Melbourne, Australia, that's where I live. But in Australia, we have a thing called the National Disability Insurance Scheme, where people can work to help people with disabilities, to help them engage the community, help them with their daily living, just to help them in general. Now, I'm a director of my own company called Phil James Disability. That's been running for 2 years. So it's been a wonderful journey supporting individuals through their support through the system, and so it's going really good. I do that full time. I got wonderful people who work for me, and married 6 years and 2 children, as I've already mentioned. I'm the youngest of 10 in my family. That's right, I'm 10 out of 10. And yeah, it's a bad pickup line. Trust me, that doesn't work. And
You're the baby of the clan. So
Yeah.
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Phil, we've got some good people joining us. Jonas is here actually from our Kenya project at the mountain, which is a really, really great worship project. And we have some exciting news about that coming up. And Jonas
Absolutely.
will be with us live on tape in just a few minutes. And folks,
Yeah.
if you're joining us, would you sign in and let us know where you're watching from? Barry Morrison is here this morning. Good day to
Hey,
you.
Barry.
And Barry's a good friend of the ministry from West Virginia. And we like him. He's a good guy. So, folks, let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're watching from. John, I didn't catch the ones we already did. If you want to scroll through them again. And Mike says, good morning, Pastor Bob. AV, our good friend, is here. Happy Jerusalem Day. Love that. And we've got Becky Porter. Good morning, PB. Good morning to you, Becky. Lots of good friends joining us from everywhere. Dave Cruz is here. And we appreciate you joining us too, Dave. Folks, sign in. Let me know where you're from. You know, Phil, it's always interesting to see where people are watching from all over the world.
Oh, I
And
know.
we have quite a few from Australia. And I appreciate the people from Australia staying up this late. You know,
Oh, too
yes.
good.
So different drummer is here. Shalom from mid-Michigan. And some other folks are joining us as we go. So Phil, you and I love chatting with you, and we've been good friends for a long time. But the one thing that's always kind of in our way is the time difference, isn't it? When I'm awake,
Yeah.
you sleep, and vice versa.
You know, it's crazy. Someone said to me the other day, a friend of mine who's visiting America, and he's Australian. He said, "You know, we're in the past, you're in the future." And I always wanted to tell you, Bob, come with me if you want to live, just to say that line.
That's awesome, dude. Dude, that's awesome. Because
But yeah,
you're a few hours into the future. That's right. That's
right.
very
So,
cool. I love that.
so I'm the Terminator, really. No, I think that yeah, time is so difficult, especially when you have a lot going on, like you're running the ministry and you know working, running. But look, we still make that time, and
Yes.
I love it. And yeah, it's
I,
been a long time actually, since 2015, I believe. Wow. But it was actually my brother, Dave. You've met Dave, David,
yeah,
that introduced me to you, you know, and Sanctuary when I was really, really young. So, in a way, I was like growing up with it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and it's been a good friendship.
Oh, it's been
Totally.
wonderful.
So Marcus is here from Sweden Rock, the Swedish Rock Festival, and good friends in Sweden. I'm going to be in Sweden, by the way, in March. I'll be there
March, nice.
for the festival, and um, excited to be back with all my friends from Sweden. Good morning, Andreas. Good morning to you,
Morning.
Andreas from Illinois. Andreas, the director for Sanctuary in Denmark, actually, and
Oh, wow.
Andreas also in at the Mountain, our worship project, and good friend of the ministry. So Phil, Andreas used to travel with me internationally
Oh, wow.
from country to country, and he was so great to travel with, and just a really great guy. And we'll have him back here on the show at some point. But
I
I know
cannot wait.
looking right now, he's probably sneaking a little view to see, you know, what's going on here, and that's a cool thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Once again, if you're watching, let us know where you're watching from. Marcus, my good friend Marcus, is here from Germany. Good to see you, Marcus. And Dave is from Nixa, Missouri. I haven't heard of Nixa. Must be a little smaller town, Dave. Thank you for joining us today. So, gosh, such a great show ahead. There's my good friend, Martin. And he says, I am here and very alive. And he calls me Bob. You can tell we're good friends.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have to have Kirk on the show one day to talk about his before and after. He was doing satanic metal before the Lord saved him, and a band that you would recognize. And
you know what was interesting, Bob? You know the music video that we're going to be talking about today?
Yep.
I actually have a client of mine that suffers with a disability, and they actually admitted to me that they are into witchcraft and into a lot of things. And as I was driving them to their appointment, I had that song playing in my car, and then they said, "What kind of song is that? It's speaking to me so much." And I explained what the song was, and it's crazy. A lot of people that are in witchcraft don't experience love, like how the love of God comes in and speaks to you.
Right.
But so yeah, it's incredible that just seeing people that used to be involved in that, to seeing the change in their hearts the moment that they feel the presence of God. It's so encouraging.
Dude, that's awesome. Awesome. Well, Jeff is here today. We just had Tim signing in, Marcus, and a few good friends from around the world. And it still is interesting to me that people can join in from everywhere. And here's Rodney Jeffrey from Queensland. You probably recognize that location. And yeah. So Rodney's a good friend of the ministry here. And good to see you also, Rodney. And Ulrika is here also from Stockholm, Johannes's wife. And I've known Johannes 25 years before he had a beard, and then he started growing it a few years back. And every time I see him now, it's just longer and longer. He's the coolest guy with a very cool wife. She's awesome. So, yeah, how about that? Yeah, Marcus says you are close to tomorrow. So you are, yes. You're almost there, aren't you, Phil?
Wow.
You're almost at tomorrow.
I am tomorrow.
You are tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
So what time is it there exactly right now?
Well, it is 12:14 a.m.
Okay, so it's just barely into the new day there.
That's it. So
awesome.
Well, I think Marcus guessed correctly.
Yeah. Absolutely. You're as close to tomorrow as you're going to get, huh?
Exactly. Well, it's good because I am a night owl, so that's good.
Yes. So Andreas says so many great memories traveling together. We really do, Andreas. And of course, I've spent a lot of times at Andreas's house in Denmark, sometimes weeks at a time.
Wow.
And just such a great bunch of people. I will be in Denmark also in March. We'll be doing, we're not ready to announce it yet, but a surprise thing. And then we'll also be at Elements of Rock this year in Switzerland. So all of those things coming up, actually not this year, next year.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah. So we've got some great stuff coming up, a lot of announcements that we'll make before that time. So I'm having a little Headbangers brew this morning, Phil.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous right now. I think I went through mine in like 2 weeks.
There you go. So Headbangers brew. And I've got the latest one here. The latest one is called Jamaican Me Loony. And you get just a little loony when you drink it. And that's, of course, it's got kind of a Jamaican blend to it. And that's
I love it.
But we get a little loony drinking it. And, to be honest with you, I get a little loony drinking just about any Headbangers brew. But there you go. It's our brand new one, Jamaican Me Loony. And that, folks, and the books and the mugs behind me and the posters and all of our cool stuff you can get at wearemetalwearfamily.com or
Yeah.
sanctuaryinternational.com or wherever you'd like to go. So there it is. All of our cool swag, Phil. It's swag. And we've got,
I love the swag, and the male models as well. They're doing a great job.
yes. Well, and we've got some exciting things coming up. We're going to be launching our own clothing line.
No way.
Yeah, so that's coming up with some new designs and just a little bit of everything here. We've got a lot of irons in the fire, as they say. Mark is here watching from the middle of nowhere in Texas. You can drive for a long time in Texas. It's a big state. And I'm from the other big state in Montana. And they have more people in Texas. Montana is one of the largest states land mass and one of the smallest states in population. You can literally drive an hour and not see another person. So, yeah.
Wow.
So I understand what Mark means when he's in the middle of nowhere in Texas, because you can do that. Joseph is here from Tacoma, Washington. He says, will there be a complete Old and New Testament Metal Bible release in the future? I use my New Testament Metal Bible quite often. Joseph, let's ask that question to Johannes. And, let's bring Johannes on soon. I want to ask him that. I want to ask him about his new book, Phil, that looks awesome. And we have a lot of things to catch up with Johannes. Folks, don't you go anywhere. We've got a lot of shows still to come and some great things to share with you at the mountain. We've got their update, and I'll be back here with Phil in just 1 minute. Hello, Metal family. So I'm excited for the next Immortal Fest. Such great bands, such great people. I hope you're going to be one of them. I'll be there hosting both events this summer. Really excited to spend time with the bands and to spend time with you. Sunday at the first event on the 28th of July will be the Sanctuary Day. We're going to have a service. We're going to have our worship team. We're going to have some special guests. We're going to have a good time. And I hope that you plan to come, and some surprises still to come too. So both events, 1st July, 26th through 28th, and the other the first week of September. Great bands, great time together, family time. We are metal, we are family. I hope to see you there. And here we are. So I want to play the video real quick for you, the video from our guys at Kenya. Great update, and you're about to be very excited. John, let's bring the video on, and let's see what they're up to.
Hey guys, Jonas here from At the Mountain. It's good to be back. Since last time we were on this podcast, Morten has returned back to Denmark. He was visiting Andreas in the US, going through the different songs we've been writing. So Andreas is now up to speed. Yeah! He's been adding extra guitar layers, even some vocals, writing some lyrics for some of the songs. On top of that, we've been blessed. I've been able to set up drum set here. So basically we have 4 recording locations right now, which is great. So now we can sit and bounce, the files back and forth to each other, keep writing, keep the progress going. And that is really, really good in a time like this, because somebody needs to tell Toto to stop blessing the rain in Africa. I bless the rains down in Africa. It's getting out of hand. So if any of you guys know them, please tell them to stop blessing the rain in Africa, because it's too much now. Yeah, so we've been having floods in most of Kenya. So it's been difficult moving around and being physically together and actually, recording, writing together. So doing things online has become more and more important for us. And also to be able to just work as individual people in a group. So say, okay, who can take charts on which assignments, which jobs that we need to get done. So we've been working on websites, we've been working on merchandise, some first edition of caps, got t-shirts, we even got some coffee. So here we have the first At the Mountain heavy base coffee brew.
Should we do the first smell? Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Bit of vintage 75. I think I shall like it.
So we've been just trying to use this time where we've been apart to keep focusing on our songs, keep figuring out how can we collaborate on the songs, keep writing, even though we are not physically together.
We are located in 3 different continents. We found it especially important to use our WhatsApp group to stay connected both spiritually and also to bounce music ideas off of each other. So I'll upload a new mix and I'll throw it into the group, and one of the others will come with some feedback on how it sounds or some ideas, and we'll also meet for prayer as much as we can. It's a little challenging though with the time zones and stuff, but we've found a time now that works during Andreas's lunch break, where it's evening here, where we can actually meet all of us at the same time online.
Hey, Andreas here from Illinois, USA. Morten was here in the Crazy Dane studio just last month, and it was awesome writing and recording together. And now, being by myself, the only simple trick is just to be focused.
Hey everyone, this is Terry here, down here in the southern tip of Kenya. I have just survived a week of really wicked food poisoning, but I'm starting to feel more alive, and as you can see, I've got my bases loaded behind me, my rig set up, and I'm ready to do some more tracking. Oh yeah. Lord my God!
Putting down a few trumpet tracks as well on some of the songs. It's been some really late nights at the studio over the last few weeks with some really good feedback from Johannes, Terry and Andreas over WhatsApp and messaging forth and back to figure out how we can get the best sound and the best melodies cranked out.
So lots of things are happening, like cicadas in Illinois. They are literally everywhere. That aside, thank you so much for your prayers. Oh, please pray for everybody that God puts on your heart. If it's us, thank you. Pray for this project. Pray for God's name being exalted through all our lives as Christians and as metalheads. His faithfulness is just amazing. We're just really excited to see where this journey continues to lead us. It is, so thank you. Please sign up for our newsletter if you want to hear something and follow along. And thank you for letting us share this journey with you. See you next time.
And folks, once again, the first video is up on YouTube. And you can watch it there. It's a lyric video, and it's really good. And the music is amazing. So what did you think, Phil? That sounds awesome, doesn't it?
Well, you know, Bob, as I mentioned before, I was taking out a client today, and I had the song, you texted it to me, and I've been driving back and home and driving to different meetings through work, and you know, when I had the song being played, because I have that client that loves their heavy metal, and the moment she heard it and she heard the lyrics, and, you know, she's into a lot of satanic metal, she's into witchcraft, and I just wanted to say their mission of, you know, reaching God's word today alone was incredible, knowing that I had this woman that, you know, saying, wow, this song actually speaks to me. And I didn't know that, you know, Christian metal can be like this and, you know, sound that way. And, you know, the fact that a seed was planted today just by hearing a lyric video alone was just a blessing. So I was left blessed, but seeing how the guys are, I was encouraged. So couldn't be any more proud.
Yes, well, that's awesome. And I can just imagine what this album is going to do in the future. It's going to be awesome. So, folks, if you remember, I told you a little bit about what we're planning with worship. It looks like we have 5 worship albums in the hopper, so to speak, and from all around the world, different projects that are going on as God has led everyone to do it. And so even though I said we'd never do it again, we are starting another label. It's called Intense Worship, and we will be putting out worship albums. And I think at this point, God's asking us to lead the movement with worship. That's such an important thing. So it's exciting, isn't it, Phil? It's really exciting.
It's absolutely exciting.
Yes. Emma is here with us from Montana, and Emma's a good friend. Her 2 sons make up the band called Mangled Carpenter. A lot of you are aware of Mangled Carpenter, and that is their mom. Jeff is here. He says, brewing now. And again, we're having a little bit of Headbangers Brew. So I am drinking this one right now. Oops, where to go? There we are. I love you very much.
Hayden does such a good job with the designs. Like sometimes I just wake up in the morning to see them, and I can't help but laugh because they stick in your mind, and they're just so well done.
You know, and I'm kind of glad that we only release one every season, because it takes me that long to think up a new name before we release it. Yeah,
it gets like that, doesn't it?
Yes. Kyle is here from Holland, Michigan. And you know who else is here? Johannes Johnson. Johannes is here from the Metal Bible. Johannes, are you there? Where is Johannes? There he is.
Yeah, no.
The man, the myth, the legend, Johannes Johnson. How does that feel for an introduction, Johannes?
Big thank you.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good introduction, Bob. Welcome, Johannes.
Yes. So many of you have one of these at your house. And Johannes, how many languages right now is the Metal Bible in?
It's in 12 languages and it's been printed in circa 250,000 copies, so 250,000 copies all over the world.
That is so great.
Wow.
That is so great. And Johannes, let's just take a minute and talk about it. It's in the beginning of the Bible and the back of the Bible. Tell us some of the people that have written their testimonies in here.
Yeah, lots of interesting people. We have Nico McBrain, the drummer of Iron Maiden. We have
Yes.
Tommy Aldrich from Whitesnake. We have Michael Sweet, of course, by Pastor Bob
Ooh.
also. And
Yes.
we have Ted Kirkpatrick and Steve Rowe, Mortification. And lots of Peter Bulls of Accept also. Lots of other people featured in it.
Yes. Tons of people in there that you would recognize from the metal movement, the metal family, and so many now in some of the bands you just mentioned that are part of our family now, which is very exciting. 12 languages. Phil, that's amazing, isn't it?
That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So, Johannes, I think a lot of people are familiar with this and familiar with, most people have one of these. I think many people do. One of the questions that came up that somebody asked was, do you ever plan on putting out the whole Bible? You know, Old Testament and New Testament. Is that something you've thought about?
Of course, we thought about it, but it's not something that we really considered seriously. Because the big thing with the Metal Bible is that you want to have it in handy format, so you can have it in your back pocket. So when you pick up the Metal Bible at festival, you can easily take it with you and also take it in your back pocket. So that's why we have it in this format. So no, not really. Old Testament. Old Testament is great also,
Yes.
but not really for the Metal Bible at this stage.
Yeah. And you know, the only way around that would be for all the guys out there to start carrying a purse, you know, for a bigger Bible, and that probably isn't a good idea. I don't think there's a lot of tough metal guys that are ready to start carrying a purse. Just saying. Johannes, I'm excited for us to talk about this. You just released this book, and in here you've got not only the history of the Metal Bible, you've got the history of Bobfest in here. Talk a little bit about the book, if you would.
Yeah, the Metal for Jesus is the name of the book, and it's my biography talking about 30 years of metal ministry. So we have a whole chapter about Bobfest. We have lots of info about the Metal Bible, its origins, and different reports from the outreaches. For example, when we were thrown out of Wacken because of the Metal Bibles, and when we're interviewed in national Swedish television, and lots of stories there. And so it's 368 pages, and it's over 100 pictures also in it. So there's plenty of things to read there. It's only in Swedish yet, but I started to translate it into English. So I just sent you, Bob, a version in English. So I'll continue on from there, and maybe in a year or so you can have it in English. You all can check it out and read it.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome. So you sent the English manuscript for one of the chapters, the chapter on Bobfest. And, you know, I remember Bobfest 1999 when you first talked to me about your vision for the Metal Bible. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And we talked about it, and we and then every time I saw you, you know, things were a little further along. I'll never forget the release then of the Metal Bible, and you worked very hard on it. It wasn't an easy project at all. You worked very hard on it, and now one of the things that I find really a great idea is that you set up in all of these festivals in Europe. You set up a Metal Bible tent. And in the tent, you have the Metal Bible, and you don't just hand them out. Somebody, if they want a Metal Bible, need to come to the tent and ask for one. Now, why don't you just hand them out? Why do you have them come and ask you?
Because we only want those that really interest to take the Metal Bible to pick it up. So no pressure. Everyone should be interested and take it by their own will. It's very important. And when people pick it up, we very seldom see people tear it apart or throw it away or anything. But most keep it and think it's very cool and they want to check it out. So it works wonderful. And I think you should never force a Bible of any kind into any person. I think it should always be people's own will to take it. So that's what we do at festivals, and we put up signs like at the Sweden Rock Festival and Wacken and other festivals. And just at Sweden Rock Festival, over 34,000 metal Bibles have been distributed in this way. So praise God for that. So it worked wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so great. And you've got a really good team of people, don't you, that are right there to chat with people, not just handing Bibles, but to talk with them and to point to, you know, things that they might really like to know in here. And yeah, just such an encouragement. So this year, Johannes, was the 25th anniversary of Bobfest.
Yes.
Can you believe it's been 25 years?
It's strange.
It is strange, yes. And you know, such great relationships were forged 25 years ago that still exist today. And of course, for this next year, there's a name change, which is a good idea. It's called Light to Dark Festival. And I'm really looking forward to being there with you guys. It'll be great to experience all of that again. Tell us a little bit about Bobfest for this year. How did everything go? Tell us who played the festival and just some key things about it.
Yeah, it was wonderful to have a reunion, celebrate the 25th anniversary of the first Bobfest. So, and we felt it was just time to do it, really. So we were in Norrköping in Sweden, the home city of Richard Bransell. That's also the editor of Noise Kit Music, the metal magazine, mostly. And we were there, and it was a fantastic time. And it was so good to meet all these friends that you haven't met for a while, maybe for many years. And we had some wonderful gigs. We had, of course, Narnia. We had Crimson Moonlight. We had Pantokrator. And we had a very special reunion show of Beni Domene and also other bands playing there. So we had a wonderful time and lots of great worship as well. And we celebrated the Lord's Supper. And we also had a Bobfest exhibition that I have put up with lots of articles and lots of Bobfest memories throughout the years.
Yes.
So, and we had a wonderful time, and we really felt that presence and blessing all over the festival, and it went so smooth. In contrast to the first year when it was all chaos, but still worked out in the end. But it went so smooth, and everyone that was there, that were there, have been really excited about it and really thankful, and all have positive things to say about it. So we couldn't be more happy and satisfied with this celebration. So we continue on now next year with the new name, but the same city, Norrköping again, and it's Light the Dark. So lightthedark.sc, there you can find more info. We have some very exciting bands playing already. It's White Cross, and it's Stop the Bleeding, you know, this Tourniquet tribute band with featuring members of Tourniquet.
Yes.
We have Deuteronomium playing and many more, and you, Pastor Bob, will also be there. So it's gonna be awesome. It's the last weekend in March 2025, so be there.
Yes, absolutely. And we're excited about it. So, yeah, and I was talking to Luke from Stop the Bleeding, the old Tourniquet. He attends our fellowship here. And the last time that Luke and I were together at Bobfest was 20 2005. Yeah, 2005. And I remember he and Ted and I sat around. I played the piano. We sat around and did some music, and I'm excited to be back with those guys. So Gary and Guy from the band will be on this show actually in a couple of weeks, and we're going to talk about Flood, their other band, with the drummer for Extol, and it's just a really great band. The second album is out now, but we'll also talk about Stop the Bleeding too, and of course they've got Light to Dark Festival there. We're trying to get a couple other things too, and then we've also got them playing Immortal Festival this summer, which will be great. And folks, if you are in the area, and even if you're not, fly over. We've got two different festivals, two Immortal Festivals. I'll be hosting both of them, and I would love to meet you. If you want to come to the festival, that would be great. So there it is, and a special Sanctuary Day at the first Immortal Festival on that Sunday. But so many great bands, so much great music, and it's going to be a good thing. And then we've got, as Immortal Festival continues, we've got some really huge surprises coming up that I can't talk about yet, but let's just say that's this time. So I have to ask, how was it to hear Vinnie Domine play one more time? That's great that they had a reunion.
Yeah, it was totally awesome and definitely the highlight musically of Bobfest. Wonderful. I mean, they haven't been playing for so many years, and now they finally did the reunion show. And also the first two albums are being re-released this fall also, so in September.
Right.
That's also very exciting. And on LP also, vinyl.
Great. Now, did they do a live from Bobfest album, or it's a studio album?
They play live there. They play live.
Okay, great.
So, and they did all the tracks that they were playing were from the first two albums. So they ended with one track, and then said, "Oh, it's a bit longer." So it was the Chronicles of the Seven Seals. So the 22-minute song from first album. So pretty cool.
That is so awesome. And then, of course, some of my favorite friends, Narnia, that I've spent so much great time with, and then Pontocrator. They're my coffee guys. We share a love for coffee together, and those guys, if you want to meet some coffee aficionados, Phil, those are the guys that know coffee. So as long as you have enough coffee for them to drink, they'll just keep playing, which is pretty cool. And yeah, exactly. We should have gotten some Headbangers Brew to them. That would have been a good idea. And of course, Rickard, the drummer for Pontocrator, is also the drummer for Crimson Moonlight. He's doing double duty. Great drummer. And Pilgrim, always on the stage. I've known Pilgrim for so long that I still call him Simon. That's his real name. But Pilgrim, and always so good on the stage. And gosh, you just had a great lineup, didn't you, with bands? The best of the best. Yeah, that's awesome. And a good year yet to come. So I want you to tell us your vision just a little bit for this book, The Medal for Jesus. Some great stuff. Now, I've only read the chapter on Bobfest because I don't read Swedish, but there's a lot of history in here. And one of the things that I really enjoyed about it is all the pictures that you've got in here. I mean, there's a lot of color pictures, great memories. I love this one. We can do a close up here. There's you and I. That's not at the beginning, but that's a few years ago.
Yeah.
Where our beards are not as long. That's yeah. Can't you just judge our age by how long our beards get? Is that? I think that's a good judge. Yes. But two different places with a lot of pictures and a lot of memorabilia and folks, if you hadn't been part of Bobfest, now I think this is from the first one. There's a picture of all of us at the first one, the staff of the first one.
Yeah. It's the original team and you and a friend of ours also. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And gosh, great memories in there. So Metal for Jesus and of course the best thing for Jesus has been the Metal Bible. So Johannes, I used the Metal Bible when I thought of writing I don't have one right here, but when I wrote my Metal Devo, I wanted it to kind of be a companion. And my original thought was to make it the same size. And then it just got out of hand. It's a very big, thick book, but I appreciated kind of piggybacking off of the Metal Bible and being able to add a little bit to it as well as far as the devotional. This continues to be the standard metal all over the world. Folks, if you don't have a Metal Bible, we need to put the address here for the website, the Metal for Jesus website, and the Metal Bible. And I think John, I think you have that address there somewhere. But why don't we get that up soon here, and people know where to go. If you're in the United States, you can get this through Sanctuary. We have it on our website as well. And that's, if you really want to go to heaven, you have to have a Metal Bible. I think that's true, don't you? Yeah, I think that's true. So, well, Johannes, when we first started Bobfest, you were a single guy.
Yes.
You and I remember one of the talks that we had was that you were looking forward one day to being married, and now you found the greatest wife. You have been married now for a while. Your life has definitely changed from that time. I remember staying in your home 25 years ago, and you were with your parents. Your parents are missionaries, and working with, I think, with Bible translation too. Isn't that the case?
A correspondence course with the Bible, and that was spread all around the world, especially in India.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome ministry. And I love spending that time with your family, with your parents as well. But I remember I flew over really tired, and you let me take a nap in your bedroom, and then we hit the road running. So, but a great time and a great beginning, And Johannes, it was a great beginning of a great friendship. And I appreciate you and I being friends all of these years. Phil, I hope sometime that you'll have an opportunity to spend time with Johannes as well. You guys
I would definitely love that.
Yeah, you guys are a little far from each other, Sweden and Australia, but it can happen. It can happen, and let's make that happen.
Let's definitely make it happen.
Yes. So let's talk about the future, Johannes.
Yeah.
If what do you have planned for the future? What do you have coming up? What is your vision for the Metal Bible and beyond?
Yeah. First of all, we reprinted the Metal Bible in Spanish a year ago.
Oh, that's
10,000 copies. So it's wonderful to spread all over Latin America and also Spain, of course. And in the Spanish edition, there we have some new special testimony there. We have a Blackie Lawless of Wasp.
oh, great.
Wonderful. He wrote a fantastic testimony there that will be featured in all coming editions in all languages that will be released in the future. So that's wonderful. And also the next year, the Battle Bible is celebrating 20 years. So we will celebrate that in some way. And one thing that God has put on my heart for some time is to do a booklet featuring persons that have come to know Jesus through the Metal Bible.
That's a great idea.
So if anyone have listening to this, have an own testimony or know someone that has one, just contact me and I might include it in it, because it's a wonderful thing to do and just to show what God is doing through this wonderful book.
Very good. I love that idea.
Yeah, and maybe we'll do a festival also to celebrate or something, but yeah, we'll definitely do a booklet to start with.
Awesome. Well, folks, make sure you do that if the Metal Bible has been instrumental in your Christian life. And I'm so glad you've included Blackie Lawless. So I have to tell you, and I won't go into all the details, but I was in Blackie's apartment before he became a Christian many, many years ago. And he was anything but Christian then. If you would have told me that this guy, with all this satanic stuff, would become a Christian, I would find it almost hard to believe, because he was so much in the other direction. And what an exciting thing for Blackie to become a Christian. It is truly miraculous. So I'm so glad that you've included him. That's awesome. And we have many more people to go, Johannes.
Yes.
One by one we'll get them.
Yes. And the long-time plan also with the Metal Bible is to translate it into every language as possible, to spread all over the world, to reach out to the metal world with the great news of Jesus. So that's the long plan before Christ returns, to try to cover as many languages as possible. So, and more info about the Metal Bible, you can find it all at metalbibleinternational.com. That's the best website to check out all the news. And there you can also see where to order it from different countries. So yeah, that's a good site.
So metalbibleinternational.com.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And both of these books are available if you speak Swedish, Metal for Jesus. And yeah, very, very exciting. And it'll be exciting to see what you come up with. You know, there are some people, Johannes, that are visionaries. You've always been one of those. You've always been one that sees something that could happen and to go for it. And Phil, you know, these are the world changers, aren't they? These are the people that really make a difference.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And Johannes, I have to tell you that I've certainly appreciated being your friend all of these years. But I also really appreciate everything you've done. Speaking for the heavy metal community, if I can for just a minute, I want to publicly thank you for all of your hard work and for this wonderful gift. It has been such a great gift for so many people. And, you know, just the people that get the Metal Bible from us, they're always saying, I'm going to buy this for my friend. I'm going to buy this for my unsaved brother. I'm going to buy this for my childhood friend that is going in the wrong direction. I'm going to buy this for somebody that needs it, and they're a metalhead. And all of these testimonies in the front and the back of the book will speak to them. And what a great evangelism tool. And that's what you're talking about, isn't it? That was the whole idea behind the Metal Bible.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, very exciting. So, Johannes, any last words? Anything else that we've forgotten to talk about? I want to make sure that we've covered everything.
Yeah, the Metal Bible is a fantastic tool to use to give away to friends that need to find Jesus. And also for playing in Christian metal bands, it's a great tool to give to fans after the shows, to show them what Christian faith is all about. And also, I think there's a big possibility and great way to spread the Metal Bible also in prisons, There's so many prisoners that that love metal that would love to check out the testimonies and the metal Bibles in the metal Bibles. So it's also a great possibility there. So just use it. That's why I put it together, just to reach out to people, break down misconceptions that people have about Christ, and to show them that God is real, and that He's also the Bible is a great, cool book to check out also for us that love metal music.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what it's all about.
Fantastic. Well, folks, and you can get them the address that we just put up, and also whenever you're at Sanctuary here, we have them right here in stock and available for you, and you can pick one up here as well. Speaking of that, every single Sunday we have 242 at the stores, and you can join us every Sunday there. And also, folks, our next gathering will be Saturday and Sunday, and this next time, most likely Friday as well. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, July 5th through the 7th. Some great things coming up. We've got some surprises we're about to announce, and so that will be coming up there. We've got, that. Don't forget, my new book is also available now at Sanctuary. You can get it at our merch store. There it is, and would love to have you read and follow along in the devotional there with me. And I'll be talking about some new books in the work that are not too far off. We'll talk about that as these weeks go by. Next week, we're going to be welcoming our friends from Rescue One. We'll be back. And Rescue One, if you remember, work with child trafficking. And they are working with a lot of children, helping to place them into families that are willing to take them in, because many of the children that are being trafficked don't have any family to go back to. And they've been trafficked specifically for that. We're going to talk about that next week. It's a very sobering discussion, one that you need to know about. So that's coming up. I want to thank my two great friends here, Johannes Johnson, and also there he is, PHIL COURTIS. And thank you guys for joining me today. It's been fun. It's been good to catch up, and it's been great to hear what's going on in Sweden and in Australia. And folks, I want to remind you that anytime you have a need, a prayer request, whatever it is, let us know. You can go here to our website, sanctuaryinternational.com, and if you want to go specifically to me, there's a page there called Pastor Bob, and it has all of my info. But we'd love to be very involved with you, and we'd love to hear from you as well. Folks, you are blessed. I can't say that enough. And because you're blessed, go and be a blessing.